薄いのアホ。プリズムパワーメイクアップカードレディー。
Welcome to Shoujo and Tell, where we discuss shoujo manga and tell who's hot and who's not, talk about themes, and just generally geek out. Today, October 13th, 2018, we'll be shoujo and telling about the series Wake Up, Sleeping Beauty by Megumi Morino. I'm your host, Ashley McDonald, and I'm joined once again by Asher Softman.
Yo.
Yeah, I just feel like everybody should know who Asher Softman is at this point.
I mean, they might not be listening to your podcast in order.
I know, that's true.
I'm not listening to your podcast in order.
You're not listening to my podcast.
That's not true. I'm subscribed now.
That's nice.
I listened to your Utena episode.
Oh, the first one, baby one. That's nice. So Asher Softman, who are you?
I am an ex-rabbinical student and Ashley's old college roommate. I currently work at a public/private hybrid library, and
that doesn't make any
sense.
I've been okay.
It's complicated in practice as well as in theory.
Okay, great.
And I don't know. I've been reading shoujo manga actually since I was 11 or 12, I think. So I guess those are my credentials.
Yeah. So you were on the Magic Knight Rare and the Maid Sama episodes, and
yes, and the Valentine's special.
Oh yes, and the Valentine's special, and only Fruits Basket will have come out between Magic Knight Rare and this. So whatever, great. Okay, Asher. I think that I was supposed to be the expert for this manga, even though I'd only read half of it before, deciding to do it. But you're better at the words. So what is Wake Up Sleeping Beauty about?
So Wake Up Sleeping Beauty puts us over the shoulder of TETSU Misato, who is currently trying to work X number of part-time jobs to get as much money as possible in a short frame of time to prove to his dad that he can do it, basically. And he meets at one of his part-time jobs where he works as a housekeeper for this rich family, a strange girl that no one has ever told him anything about. This girl, SHIZU Karasawa, is frequently possessed by ghosts. Tetsu is terrified of ghosts.
Yay! Hijinks ensue.
The manga is about sort of both of them learning how to overcome their fears because they don't want to hurt people, and in fact they want to be with each other and feel that connection. The courage to make connections with people is the heart of this manga.
Yeah, even though it's scary because life is hard. And
it's so scary, and I think this manga does it really well. It shows the fear as well as the effort it takes to get past it and the reward of doing that.
Yeah, I think we were both actually fairly... I had read half of this series before being like, oh, it's over. I should probably just read the second half and podcast about it. That seems like a smart idea. Mm-hmm. And in the beginning, reading the first 3 volumes, I was like, this is a pretty good manga. Like, it wasn't, like, blowing me away, but I was like, the plot twists that happen, like, each chapter has a little twist in it, and I was like, this is pretty good. I don't really know where it's going to go. I think in the middle, I got a little lost, but then, like, the last, 2 to 3 volumes, I was like, oh my god.
So the last 2 to 3 volumes, and you got lost in the middle, so, immediately after you got lost, it was fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you suffer a little. Tetsu has this soccer drama that I wasn't super into, but whatever. That's 3 chapters. So then after that, you're just like, oh my god, it's great again.
I was okay with the soccer drama.
Okay, whatever.
But I like sports manga more than you. Oh, that's not true. I don't like it more than you do. You loved Kuroko.
I loved Kuroko. Kuroko's great. I like Haikyuu.
Oh, yeah. You've actually probably followed that longer than I did.
I don't know. There was just something I don't know. The soccer stuff to me was the weakest part just because I just felt kind of a little bit overwrought.
The emotional payout of the soccer match was really good.
Okay, fair enough.
No, I liked the soccer bit. I guess it depends on if you care about like giving Tetsu's struggles equal weight.
Yeah, I guess I didn't.
Shizu's. Which is fair. Like, I do think that it is a little strange for a shoujo manga to be, for its main character to be a guy. I think it was a good choice in this case, but it is like sort of, going against, not going against, but like it's a different road than one usually taken by shoujo manga.
Yeah, and I think there's actually a surge of this happening in other shoujo manga too. Like more recent things that have come out that have male leads are HARU by, I don't remember. I'm bad at author names, so I don't actually remember what any series is by anybody. There's also The Young Master's Revenge, and like, yeah, HARU is actually really interesting because Tetsu in this is really sweet and everything, right? You're like, oh, he's typical. But the main dude in like HARU is like kind of a jerk and stuff, and that's fun. So like, go read more shoujo manga with boy leads. I don't know, that aren't yaoi, obviously. Like, I think that's the thing, Like,
is that the thing? Because I was gonna bring up DN Angel, which
that's true.
I consider shoujo with male leads, but it might be shonenai.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm thinking like Banana Fish is BL.
Oh yeah,
but shoujo.
Yeah. Right.
Well, there's controversy, but like, it's shoujo. It's also BL in my mind, which we avoided on the actual episode.
Isn't it blatantly? I mean, I haven't read it.
I mean, to me, it's pretty blatant, but there's controversy. So, everybody can come yell at me later about it. Like,
yeah, I guess there's controversy about DN Angel. Technically, there are girls. Technically, they're there. The relationships there are important.
Yeah.
But they're not what I think of when I think of DN Angel.
Oh man, I can't wait for that to start again. But yeah.
Is it going to?
Oh yeah.
What? When?
I don't know. It might have already it restarted, yeah.
When? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This is life-changing.
Wow, I'm glad I could blow your mind.
I need to know how it ends.
I'm pretty sure earlier in the year the author was like, it's coming back.
Ooh.
And I was like, this is why I avoid real talk for this podcast. Like, people want me to do stuff like X and Nana and all these things, and I'm like, I don't know. We live in the golden age of everything coming back, and like, hiatus things that were hiatus for 10 years coming back. So I hold out hope, I guess. Whatever. Wake Up Sleeping Beauty is part of a strong contingent of things that are now having male leads, and maybe some past things that also had male leads. Still rare, but this one is really good. I always was like, I don't know where this story was going, and where it went was excellent. Everybody,
I know, wasn't it? Oh my god.
We're trying not to spoil things, but
I binge read it all in one night, and I have no regrets about this. It was so good. What the heck?
It's so good. I think it's very underrated. Now I'm on the train where I'm like, not enough people have been reading this.
Yeah, I as soon as I finished, I recommended it to everyone on my plurk list. What it has, I think, is both a really realistically conveys what it is to connect with people without losing this softness. Like, the characters make mistakes and they hurt one another, and you get the payout of them making up in a way that doesn't feel like overwrought or overblown. I find in a lot of stories from all cultures that like sometimes there's this like big dramatic event that supposedly like makes up for all these other things, and I just don't feel that. Here, like, you can see that these apologies and makeups, those things are the start of a longer process of a change in the relationship that will make it knit together stronger. And I don't read a lot of that.
Yeah, no, I agree totally. Like, I'm like, these characters are so obviously flawed. And what I think was really great, again, I mean, you know what? I'm just going to spoil things. You can, Wake Up Sleeping Beauty is available from Kodansha USA, physically and digitally. because I know they're all about digital stuff, but you can get it physically. They believed in it, and you should go buy it. Damn it. That's my conclusion.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good. But like, what really got to me about that in particular was like in Haru's story, who's one of the spirits. I think Haru's story encapsulates like everything that makes this manga great. So he's a spirit who had a adopted daughter that he was like sort of awkward with, because he's like, you know, she's still grieving her previous dad who died, and you know, her quote
she was
unquote
his
real
stepdaughter.
dad.
Stepdaughter. Yeah.
And so he's like, I don't feel like her real dad. I should stop pretending to be a dad. And she's all like a little iffy about him too. And so he at one point goes to the grave of her dead father and is like, I'm going to make it so that they forget you and they like love me and all these things really hard. And in that moment you're like, that's pretty powerful. And then later he regrets it and you're like, oh yeah, that was kind of like a crappy move. But like in both moments you're kind of like, I see where you see where he's coming from, and you like appreciate both emotions. And like,
all the characters are amazingly human. There's like one character who's a little bit weaker on that front, I think, but like I legitimately don't care about making him human. It's like, it's fine. Like,
is it the
I get
dad?
where he's coming. It's the dad. I get where he's coming from, and like it's like they could have gotten into it, and it would have been great. I'm okay with leaving him to the side and working on these other things that are more interesting.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Quite frankly, he's fine. He can stay over there. Yeah, like his like evil presence is like,
I think that is the weakest part of the series.
Yeah, a little bit. But
more
I think,
than the soccer game.
Whatever. It wasn't the soccer game itself. It was like the lead up to it.
Oh.
A little too much for me. Anyway, but like, I think this series also does a good job of having this like semi-spooky presence with this girl who gets possessed by ghosts, and there is like at least one legitimately scary scene where a ghost that had been haunting a pool like takes over her body, and she like concusses herself basically to get out of it. You know, I thought it did a pretty good job of balancing like this spooky, surreal atmosphere with like the very, very grounded human emotions that were otherwise happening.
I think Tetsu's reaction to that was the hook that really sold me on this series.
Oh, really?
Probably. I mean, like, I was interested before. I thought Tetsu was actually fairly interesting. You know, he should be a stereotype, I feel, like Genki sports guy.
Yeah.
But then he's not. I don't know. I dig it. I can't put my finger on what exactly about Tetsu is so like not quite a stereotype. He's very appealing. But yeah, like he almost left. She told him to go, and he almost did. And like I really, really like identified with him in that moment. Like, I also don't like scary things. I love ghosts. I don't like them to be spooky. So this manga was perfect for me. But then, like, the reasons he went back, rather than it being a really heroic impulse, like a shonen hero would have gone back because it's the right thing to do, he went back because of what he felt in that moment for this girl he barely knows. And I was like, oh, this is what the dream is made of.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So this manga is definitely the right level of spooky to like,
I mean, I would have been interested in more spooky stuff, like more like ghosts,
more
like just more ghost like metatext, I guess. That's not the right word, but I can't think of it right now. But it wouldn't have been pertinent to the story. Like, I think the story we got is 98% of like a perfect story chunk. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I'm definitely like, I'm glad this manga was short and sweet and like had these characters and was like, I'm gonna give them all their space, except maybe Chihiro. He was a little weird. Anyway.
You don't like Chihiro? I like Chihiro.
Okay, no, I like Chihiro. Chihiro is the best friend who can see ghosts. I just feel like he, in the way that, Tetsu is given sort of equal weight and his family drama, I mean, particularly since his mom is one of the ghosts, but just... No, I'm out of spoiler land. It's fine.
I know,
Let us say whatever.
Okay.
And all these things. I just feel like Chihiro has the whole drama of, like, is he Tetsu's friend, I guess, because he feels like he's not, and all of this backstory. Right. I guess on some level I'm kind of like, but why can Chihiro see ghosts? Like, it's a little plot devicey to me.
I'm okay with that. Chihiro, I feel that, like, there are a lot of characters that were left to have their own stories outside of this story, and I actually appreciate that. Like, Chihiro and Ryo don't explicitly get together except in that dream they have, the characters have, and like,
oh yeah,
great, perfect. Don't package everything up at the end, like in Maid Sama's final chapter. Like,
what is happening?
yeah. Like, I'm okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm like 6 volumes. It was good.
Yeah,
be good.
I kind of wanted to see. The only thing I wanted to see was what do the ghosts look like to Chihiro, but like we weren't supposed to see that. Like, I get why we didn't.
I mean, did we get the impression at the end that he saw Haru as whatever Haru looked like? I think that was implied. Yeah.
Yes, but he couldn't draw. All the funny gags were they just came in at the perfect time to, like, lower the tension in a way that was helpful at each point.
Oh yeah, like what?
Like when he couldn't draw the freaking ghosts.
Oh yeah, that was good.
I have to ask you. Did you see the twist about Mireille coming?
No.
I was completely blindsided. I was like, what?
I was too. I guess because you were like, she's not dead, right? Like,
yeah, there was that. And like, Mireille did not give me the impression of, like, I guess being
a mom.
Tetsu's mom.
But like after it, I was like, I didn't disbelieve it after.
Right.
I was like, okay, now given what we've learned about Akira's personality, his mom's personality, like, it did match up based on how she behaves.
It was incredible.
I was like, yes!
Unbelievable. So good.
Good. I don't know how we can convince people to read this manga. Okay, whatever. When this whole podcast is gonna be us. It's so good. Read it.
You should. We should like make a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode. Like, move a disclaimer to the beginning of the episode saying, "Read this manga right now."
Yeah, like I feel like I'm gonna be real. Mm-hmm. As the host of this manga podcast that has to be on every episode, I gotta say, maybe sometimes I'm not like, this isn't exactly my jam, but I'm gonna do it for the peoples. Like,
for the peeps.
But this one, I was like, I'm pleasantly surprised. I want everybody to read this.
This was good.
Yeah. Okay, but we do have I also want to share that Asher at some point messaged me. It was like midnight your time. And
yeah, it was right after I finished the 6th volume.
And I had not yet read the 6th volume. I think I even had part of volume 5 still to read. And I was like playing some late night hockey game. So I was reading the message in between them. And his message was, I can't believe Wake Up Sleeping Beauty single-handedly convinced me that manga was not a mistake. And I read it over and over being like, there is a knot in here, right? Like, okay, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are my true feelings. Like,
you were like, this manga finally, of all the shoujos, like, didn't do this, them being like mean and nasty drama to each other.
I mean, yeah, there's that. And granted, I don't read as much shoujo as you do. So this is actually manga in general and anime in general. Like, this one series, I mean, there are some other things where I really enjoy the series, and it's like, oh, manga and anime, for all their gross flaws,
Yeah.
still give us interesting and exciting stories and inspiring stories. This one never made me feel uncomfortable, never sexualizes underage girls. Thanks God.
Yeah.
And just like made me, an almost 29-year-old adult, really think about how courage is a virtue if you use it right. And I have work to do on that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this manga is hitting me at a very, very emotionally turbulent time in my own life, and I was kind of like, it might be coming at me a little too hard right now, but like, it assured me that everything would be okay in the end. So I was like, great, thank you, manga. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't have to be like sad drama in the end. Like, we made mistakes, but then we can all get along in the end. And I was like, thank you.
Or if we can't get along, we can distance ourselves a little bit.
Distance ourselves quietly. Like, I appreciated like SHIZU with her father, since he is kind of the weak, like, weird eviling thing.
Yeah.
I appreciated her response of like, you know what, you don't have to think of me as your daughter. Like, we are strangers, and we can behave like that. Like, we can pretend that we're strangers and meet for the first time and be like, and build something from that. I'm like, great.
I thought that was an incredibly mature way for SHIZU to handle that, and also for the author to handle that.
Yeah. Oh, it's just such shocking levels of like maturity with quiet twists. Seriously.
Yeah. This is up there with Erased and Princess Jellyfish for me, as far as like human relations go.
That's some big, bold statement right there.
Yeah. Well, do you disagree?
I mean, it's so hard because those things are so much more hyped, but like, yeah, let's get it to that level. Like,
yeah.
I am down. Yeah. Okay. But we did get a listener question that I think is good. We can talk about all the spirits and stuff based on this question. It is from @GGLuna7 on Twitter, and it was just, which is your favorite spirit and why?
It's actually a tougher question than I thought it would be going in, because I had a very early favorite.
Oh, tell me your early favorite.
Of course, it was Haru.
Thank you. It was also Haru.
But I've grown to like all of them. And I didn't like Mireille at the beginning. I didn't like Kanato at the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. Hard agree.
Shinobu has some issues. But I like all of them now, and I'm really happy for all of them managing to move on and or wake up. But my favorite's still Haru.
Thank you. I was like, if we don't agree on this is gonna be weird. So good. I know. I love the way he looks. First of all, he's hot.
Is he? All right.
I trust. I like his shaggy look. Okay.
I'll trust your opinion on that.
He's a sweet boy. I love his like weird gym rat, like nice bro personality.
I thought that was excellent. It was really, really appealing. Like more appealing even than Tetsu's weird mix of Genki boy and like real human being.
Yeah, right.
I think that's what's getting me about Tetsu.
Yeah.
Like Genki boy and real human being.
Whoa.
Incredible.
Great. Yeah, Haru. It's also like Haru gets some of the best hijinks with Tetsu, and their bromance is great. Love it.
I feel a little bad that Tetsu kept bringing up that he fell in love with Haru, and then we find out that Haru is like married with a kid.
Yeah, he's like, you're throwing some truth bombs at me right now. Like,
married with a kid, Tetsu's age.
Yeah, that's a little
He rolled with it admirably.
Yeah, so good, because he's a good guy.
He's such a good guy. Good guy, Haru.
I know, good guy, Haru. And then, like, his heartbreaking backstory, I was just like, no.
God, I thought he disappeared earlier.
Oh,
when
yeah.
Tetsu called him, like, I feel like your son. And I thought Haru was gone. I was convinced of it for, like, half a volume.
I know. And then it
God.
turned out, I guess the excuse was just that they started being able to be in her body less and less, and he just like got shocked out of it in that second.
I think he almost moved on at that moment.
Oh, okay.
In retrospect, he still had some things holding him back.
All right, because Sakura and his wife were still like searching for him.
Right.
So tragic.
I know.
Oh my God. Like, she lost her first husband, and then her second husband goes missing, and she's like, oh no, I gotta find him. Like,
God. And what got me was that the little girl was also named Sakura. Like, Jesus.
I mean, that's clearly what got him too.
Right, obviously.
I know.
He's such a
Haru!
god.
Love you,
Isn't that the kind of guy you want to keep alive? Stranger than fiction.
Come on.
Fair enough. No. He was dead from the start.
I know.
We never had him to keep.
Haru! I love him.
We can talk about the other spirits too.
Yeah, okay. So, is it fair to ask who's the weakest? Is there a weakest? No, let's just...
No, I think the rest of them... Well, all right. I think AKIRA / Mirai is the next most developed.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's for plot reasons more than anything else.
Right? It's for the big twists.
Yeah. No, I really liked towards the end finding out more about her actual personality. I liked that she was mean mom.
Right? She's just like manipulating people to do chores and stuff, and like,
Yeah, I love it. That's so real. What a great mom. It reminded me in that moment of like Toru's weird fantasy good mom. Like, mom's, come on. No, this is a real person.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Toru's mom had mistakes. Well, we'll have had 6 hours worth of podcasts about that.
Okay, I'll listen to them when they come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means I have to read Fruits Basket again. Anyway. No, I like Mirai / Akira. I think I like Akira more than Mirai. I think Mirai was Akira deliberately going a little extra to
Right.
make sure Tetsu could never be on the scent.
Right. Mirai is like, purposefully being kind of meaner than she needs to be to like drive a point home harder.
Right. And to make sure that her son is making the right decisions, both for this girl she cares about and for himself.
Yeah. Oh my God. I really appreciate that they were like, I care about all the children, not just my own children, all of them. Like,
all of them. And she was the one who got him to be friends with Chihiro and like,
so good. Such good mommy.
You can see why he's such a mama's boy.
That's true. He's definitely a mama's boy.
For sure. Kanato and Shinobu, Kanato really grew on me.
Really? What made that happen? I feel like he's the weakest plot-wise, right?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
He's the one that isn't technically part of the plot.
Yeah.
No, but I think, like... I mean, I felt for him at the beginning, like, it sucks to be a kid and die in the hospital and not get to do all these things you want to do. But also, like, he really cared about Tetsu and Shizu. And, I don't know, he really grew on me. And I think he grew throughout the series, even if he was a dead child ghost.
Yeah, he still grew. I really liked his backstory. I guess it wasn't his backstory, but like I liked when Shizu and Tetsu went to visit his mom and like when they were learning. Yeah, at the end.
Yeah, when they talked about how he didn't like fish, like I was like, oh no.
They made him a cake. Gave him a cake.
Cute.
So
good. God. And he was a cute kid. He was a cute little kid.
Yeah. Crushing on Suzu, Tetsu's younger sister.
That was cute.
So good. He was trying to do his best in his kid way.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
And that was more endearing to me than Shinobu.
Yeah, Shinobu.
I think part of the problem is that Shinobu is just a more reserved and quiet character, and it's harder to get attached to characters like that when we are not getting inside their heads. But I think his story is fascinating.
Yeah. Well, I think his story is also like the most unresolved, right? Like, because the problem is his whole deal is that he adopted son, basically, Shizu's father, and you know, the father like always kind of resented that, coming from poverty, being lifted out of poverty, and being like, wait, but you took me away from my quote unquote real parents and all these things, and I love them, and that was fine. And I just don't know that Shinobu ever, like, I don't know that they resolved themselves, right? Like, they're the two that still have problems, I guess.
Yes. No, I agree with that. I think both of them, the resolution of their traumas is in this story that we see laid out before Shizu and Takashi, rather than in the story as we got it. I think Shizu was Shinobu's redemption.
Yeah. I do like the contrast between Kanato and Shinobu. Like, Shinobu's the oldest, but is still the one with like the most unresolved problems. Right? Like,
and I think that kind of goes with the territory of being the oldest. He has more of an ability to, or more of an understanding of how to let things go, or an understanding of the need to let things go. He lived the fullest life.
He lived the fullest life. And now he is also like the most, because Shinobu, it's like a whole family drama, like, you know, his granddaughter, his son, his daughter-in-law, connected to, like, you know, Tetsu's mom and Shizu's mom were friends. So it's like this whole like span of connections that he's like, I can't control all those connections, and my actions in ways directly impacted who those people became, and in other ways indirectly did, and like that's way too much to encapsulate. So like, cool, just go be free, my granddaughter. Like,
yeah.
Oh, Shinobu.
Yeah.
He's
I think
nice.
like he's the one I would least want to like be around and like hang with.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's true, because like Mireille was mean.
Yeah.
But I enjoy hanging out with old people. But
I was about to say, you do like hanging out with
I do
old
like
people,
hanging out with old people. But like, I mean, he really did mess up his son's life.
Yeah.
So
pretty hard. Like,
yeah. But he's the one I like the least, but I think that's I still like him quite a bit.
yeah. I liked. Okay, can we talk about the side story about bras?
That was so funny.
I believe Shinobu's response was like, if this is better for my granddaughter, I can put this bra on.
I can wrap this piece of fabric around my chest.
Yeah, like. So,
oh, Haru.
whereas Haru's like, what? I have boobs. This is a magical revelation.
Okay, but like, now that I know what Haru really looks like it sort of makes sense that he wouldn't want to do this. Like, this like scruffy 30-something man. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love the idea of him having to do it.
Yeah, I mean, they should do it.
He's
It
like
is not
closing his
good.
eyes, like trying to wrap it around.
I mean, if Mireille should have gone out and bought them some easier bras, is what I think.
You know, she's just trolling them, though.
I know, but like for Shinobu's sake, or Shizu's sake, sorry.
They both have she. I get it.
I mean, that there's a point.
Yeah,
Like, that's the point.
the point. It didn't escape me.
Yeah.
I also, like, for how good this manga is, I really do think that the little extra chapters that are basically 4-koma manga normally, there also are just some regular, like, extra side chapters. But I think all of those side things are also just, like, really good.
Yes.
Like, shockingly, like, each one that is a 4-koma thing that, like, ends in a funny thing, I'm like, yep, you nailed it. Like, it was good.
And
or there
wasn't
was
this
the one
wasn't this author's first published manga?
Is it? I don't remember. I
Or
think,
like first long-term published manga? I think that was stated in the first volume.
yeah, I'm pretty sure she's only had like 2 things possibly.
Incredible.
And this being one of them.
Unbelievable.
Looking forward to this journey, Megumi Morino. Bring it.
Bring it on.
Okay, from an art perspective, how do we feel about art?
I liked it. It's not as... I thought it looked really generic at first.
I agree.
Yeah. But I think the art, like so much else in the writing and the characters, like there's something subtly and it's very technically good. Like there's this subtle technicality. There was never like so much white space you didn't know where you were. What else? The characters were all distinct. You could tell each one apart. You could tell who was in Shizu's body.
Yeah, oh my god, that is really impressive actually.
Yeah.
But without it like losing that it's Shizu. Like you look at her and you're like, right, this is Shizu. But like
it's always Shizu.
Yeah.
It looked like the characters got older, and I mean that could just be like art changing over time, but like it worked because they got older.
Yeah.
They grew as people and they got taller.
Oh, Tetsu.
they got longer. His shoulders got broader.
Yeah. I can agree that it looks... I think the problem with it looking generic is mostly that maybe the backgrounds aren't as... Like, the humans look, like, super good, right?
They all look good, but, I mean, maybe it's because I'm used to shonen these days, but, like, they all look really boring. Like, they're beautiful. The art is beautiful. They don't have crazy hair. None of them are wearing crazy clothes, but they each look like distinct people that just happen to be real people, and I'm just not used to that anymore.
Yeah. Wow. I think that's sort of the point, but yeah.
I know it's a real, well, I guess there are ghosts, but even the ghosts, they're all really human.
Yeah, they were all former humans.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think like the backgrounds were just like kind of weird, but at the same time, I can agree to the shonen point because like I think that to me it's sort of like Bleach. Bleach has a lot of style because Kubo is really good at like coming up with weird character designs, and he's also really good at shading and all these things. But like the backgrounds in Bleach, let's be real, they're real bland. Like,
right.
Sort of deal.
Fruits Basket too. Like there were whole pages where there wasn't a background, and I thought that Wake Up Sleeping Beauty actually did really well at having backgrounds.
It does have backgrounds. Yeah, it's just that they're kind of boring. Like I guess.
They are. Like the scenery was never like part of the city is not a character.
Yeah,
as it is in some other places in other works.
Yeah. But, like, overall, I look at the illustrations and I'm like, y'all are so pretty, though. Like,
they're really pretty.
It's nice.
The way she does, like, subtle eye things is really good. Yeah. It's like, I look at it and I'm like, I know what you're doing. I know how you're manipulating my feelings right now, and it's working.
You're
and
like,
it's beautiful.
and I like it.
Please don't stop.
Yeah,
Please don't stop.
Keep it going. Okay, what else should we talk about? So, obviously, this is a riff on Sleeping Beauty. It's in the title.
Right.
And how did you feel about that? I guess I'll call it a twist.
Oh, the twist of Sleeping Beauty being Akira?
Oh, that, and also Akira's explanation of like why Sleeping Beauty stayed with the prince, and Tetsu being like, because he broke the curse, and her being like, no, it's because, she was just excited to have somebody who stayed there after 100 years and was excited for her to wake up and be like, hi, good morning. Like, what's up?
Okay, I think it's actually even better knowing that the Japanese title is Ohayo Ibarahime, because that actually translates to good morning, and we lost that a little in the English translation of the title.
Yeah.
No, I love that, actually. I love like subtle domestic intimacy stuff like that, like the everyday things. I'm super weak to that in across the board. So, and this manga is really good about like they hold hands and there's not that much. Oh, it's not like Maid Sama with Usui getting up in Misaki's
Yeah, grill all the
face
time.
and
Yeah.
grabbing her and kissing her back so she.
You're never gonna let that scene go. It doesn't deserve to be let go. I agree.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go back to manga after this manga because like I got spoiled.
Oh no, I broke Asher. Damn it.
It's everything I ever wanted in a romance of a manga. No, I really liked that. The one thing that kept tripping me up at the beginning was I kept, instead of thinking about Sleeping Beauty, I kept thinking about Tetsu as Cinderella.
Wait.
Because he was doing all
the
this
housekeeper,
work.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think they do. I don't know. Like Shizu apparently reads the fairy tales, right? Like was Cinderella one of them? Possibly. I don't remember. That seems like it's probably a thing, though. Let's not pretend.
I don't think Cinderella ever came up in the story.
Yeah. If it was just one of the books that was shown as like in Shizu's collection.
Sure.
I'm willing to bet that it was a little Cinderella inspired, though.
Really? You think? Okay.
Yeah. I think it's good enough to be like, isn't it fun if the dude is the housekeeper?
That was fun. I was expecting something different when I went in hearing that was the premise. And I think knowing it was just one of his many jobs puts a different spin on it.
Yeah,
I thought there was going to be a lot more like social dynamic play involved, and I'm glad there wasn't.
Yeah, he quickly like it starts off with him talking to the other housekeepers and stuff about spooky stuff because one of them is a writer or whatever.
Right.
But quickly that is pretty quickly dropped since he becomes basically Shizu's private like housekeeper.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tetsu.
Ooh. It's not like that.
It's not like that. They're so
Oh, it's
cute.
funny. It's funnier when he makes it like that because she's so messy. I love the fact that he's younger than her. I love the fact that he's so like both like overbearing motherly in a way, but also still Genki boy about it. I just love him. Squish his little face.
Squish his little face. Yeah, what else is there to talk about? I think I really appreciated the way that money was handled as a corrupting source without being like too overbearing about it. And in the end, Tetsu did have really admirable reasons for wanting to make money, because it turns out that it's like his dad had been borrowing money to keep his mom on life support from, you know, his grandfather. Right. And then Tetsu feels bad and is like, oh no, I'm gonna pay him back. Oh, well, I guess it's the fact that they were like, you know, we shouldn't keep this going. We should take her off life support. Like, clearly she's not gonna wake up and all these things. And Tetsu's like, no, I don't want that to happen. So he like goes and makes enough money. Right. I guess presumably to keep her on for at least another year or whatever.
Right. I have sort of complicated feelings about them making that decision for her, but like I know it's in this story it's their expression of love and belief in her, and she does wake up, but I don't know, me personally, like this is me personally, like that's a really complicated issue.
Oh yeah, I mean there are many stories about that sort of thing. right, and I don't know, like it's the story's not about that. Yeah, and in some ways I think, you know, because Akira doesn't want them to know that she is Mireille and has been communicating with Tetsu this whole time or whatever.
Yeah.
I think there's some level of her understanding of like, I can't influence this decision because technically I can't actually talk and stuff.
But I feel like that's the one line she should have crossed.
You're like, damn it.
just tell them what you want. You're too young to have a living will, so just tell them. Just tell them. Anyway.
I feel like it's a bad burden in a way to put on Shizu and Shizu's mom that, like, they know that she's Tetsu's mom.
Oh,
and so they have to keep that a secret. I'm like, that's a little mean. But
I think it's a bad burden to put on Shizu. I'm okay with her putting it on Shizu's mom.
yeah, okay, that's fair.
I think Akira needs a confidant as much as anyone does. And I actually would have liked to see more of their relationship. I thought that was really sweet. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that.
The train, here, you've lost it. It's gone.
It's a bullet train.
Yeah, you missed it. It was very fast.
I super missed it. Yep.
But it was a good story about money, like, not being the most important thing, but also being a force that, like, you do need to deal with. Like, the way that Tetsu's family deals with it in the end is, like, you know, instead of the two dudes having to take on this burden, granted, the two dudes are also the oldest, so, like, it's not totally a gender thing, but, like, you know, them being like, you know, if we all help each other out and are just truthful, then we can all just have a job that's not overworking. And I think that's a good message for Japan, because Japan has such a problem with, like, overwork,
right?
and all these things.
I do think gender is a big factor in that. I also think it was a good message about pride in general. Like, his father didn't need to be borrowing money from the grandfather. The grandfather said he would do it anyway. It's his daughter.
That's true. He has a stake in this as well.
Yeah, like, and Tetsu doesn't need to be doing this. That's what I was going to say. It's a bad burden to put on a kid. And I know that Tetsu's dad didn't want to put that burden on the kid, but that burden is there. So I think the message that working together to overcome something, even if you want to be the protector and the provider, and the one to take care of it for these younger people in your family or whatever, like, whatever that role is, like, that's not as important as sharing and being honest and not cutting yourself off from the things you love. Like, I think I really liked the soccer interlude because because I liked Chihiro, and also because of the complications it introduced between Tetsu and Ryo.
Yeah, they had good drama. I also really, in that soccer interlude, unrelated to this other stuff we just mentioned, but, like, I did really appreciate that Tetsu, you know, they wanted him to come play the game, the actual match against whatever school they were playing.
Yeah.
And he went just to be like, no, take back my notebook. My notebook is me. I do not deserve to play in this game when I did not put in the time.
Yeah.
And clearly disrespected you.
Yeah, I really liked that too. Like, what this author, the way she's just so realistic about everything from relationships to soccer, how sports work.
Yeah.
I thought it was really great. And then that didn't even after that, he got to be with his team and share those relationships he did build with and for them.
Yeah.
I like Tetsu a lot.
What
a good kid.
What a good boy. He is so good, and so obviously flawed, and not because he's just a big scaredy cat, but
one other thing I love is that none of the characters got rid of any of their flaws. They learned how to deal with them. Yeah. Tetsu never stops being afraid of ghosts, which that's not a flaw, but, like, his struggle overcoming fear is one of the most important struggles in the series. Shizu, even at the end, she still isn't quite sure who she is. She just knows there's two things she likes. It's a few more by the end, but, you know.
Yeah. Tetsu's one of them.
Right. Tetsu's the big one. And I love that. I love that the message isn't you get rid of your struggles and your flaws, you overcome them and you win. No, you learn how to manage yourself.
Yeah, I think that's most prominent with Shizu's mom. Like, I think it's like, that's just who she is. And like, yeah, she has to work in the constraints of like who she fundamentally is.
Yeah.
I also loved with Tetsu's fear of ghosts that at some point, I love the moment where he realizes that he's become more comfortable talking to the ghosts that inhabit Shizu rather than Shizu herself. He's like, wait.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
become
because
more
she's
comfortable with
scarier.
Yeah, because he's like, well, Shizu is more of a like blank slate who I don't know how to read and who doesn't know herself, and like that's really hard. Because I think he also, you know, I mean, maybe this isn't super explicitly in the story itself, but like he must have some level of being like, I don't want to influence her. Like, I don't want to push her in all these directions.
Oh, yeah.
Right now. Yeah, right. Because right now she doesn't really know anything. Especially, I guess it's most prominent in the way that he's like, you know, I like her, but I don't want to tell her that right now. Because she, like, I don't think that she understands that sort of thing.
I think that's where it's most prominent. And I think he deals with it really gracefully, too. When he was trying to figure out what foods she liked and she didn't know, he said, well, I like this one, and he didn't imply that she should like it too.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll just keep making you more, and we'll figure out which ones you like.
Yeah, it's like, from this list, surely you'll like at least something. Like, right? Like, hopefully we're not don't totally like different things.
Right.
Blessed manga. So good. Yeah. Should we move on to shipping corner since we basically have been shipping the whole time?
Sure.
Okay. Oops, I forgot to reorder these things. That's fine.
This order is actually great.
You love this order? Okay.
I kind of like this order.
Or maybe I did order them. I don't know. I can't remember. I did this very hurriedly, so whatever. The first one is AKIRA and Tetsu's dad. I can't remember Tetsu's dad's name at all. So.
Does he have a name?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure he does either. So we don't have to worry about that. Oh no, he does have a name, and I don't remember. It's not mentioned enough times. Yeah,
definitely not.
Yeah, that seems like a great ship. We never see them together, so I don't know.
Except in flashbacks. Yeah, they eloped.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was like a couple panels where they were together. That's pretty much it.
I mean, they seemed like there were some flashbacks where the dad was like scaring Tetsu on Halloween. See, we're recording this at an appropriate time for Halloween, but it's not going to come out in time for Halloween. Oops.
It's okay. It's for some people, it's always Halloween.
But yeah, Tetsu's dad was like scaring him with a Halloween thing, and then you know, that was cute.
They seemed like a great couple.
Yeah, they seemed solid.
Exactly. They seemed like they had a lot of fun together, and they obviously loved each other very much.
Oh, more of that, please. But then we have Shizu's parents.
Right. I think his name is Takashi.
I don't know.
Not Takahashi.
Whatever.
Doesn't really matter. What's important is there's a she in it.
Yes. I'll delete the ha.
I mean, my feelings about this are tied up in my complicated feelings about both of them as people, as individuals. I feel like their relationship is what redeems definitely Takashi and a little bit Sanae too.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he cares about her so much, and that's like the one thing that he's certain of.
Yes.
Because he has the flaw, like basically Sanae is like his little rebellion. I think he genuinely cares about her. Like he fell for her for real. But he also thinks of her as like, you know, this is the one thing I chose for myself.
Yes.
And his flaws are in that he goes about trying to protect her in the wrong ways. And that's, you know, that's a thing we all do, I suppose. So
yeah, that's true. Except most of us don't have the money to take it to that extreme. I think that's
see,
the whole
money,
story of
corruption.
Yeah. Sanae, they both have some work to do separately and together. But I don't think their relationship is wrong.
Right. There's nobody in this manga where I'm like, y'all just aren't good for each other and you should have broken up, right? Like,
right. I think they're good for each other. Well, okay, no. They need to work on it. They need to work on it.
They have good feelings there. They need to learn better responses.
Yeah. I think who they were at the time they got together, they were really good for each other. They haven't grown in the right, in healthy ways since then.
Yeah, having a child who gets possessed by ghosts really derailed that.
I think maybe the circumstances of their relationship may be part of why they have a daughter who gets possessed by ghosts. Remember, like, I think that isolation came before she started getting possessed by ghosts.
Right.
Because Takashi's always away doing whatever crazy rich person political things he does. I'm glad we never got any clarification on that.
You're like,
that was a good way to handle the rich people family phenomenon that is constantly in manga.
That's true. I don't need to know the specifics of what they do.
Yeah.
Apparently he has some part in that soccer stadium that they rented out, so that's all you really need to know. I think the good, cute underdog ship is Ryo and Chihiro, right? Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's always like, you know, the best friend and the younger sibling is always the thing. It is, though. Looking at you, Maid-sama.
It always comes back to Maid-sama.
It always comes back to Maid-sama.
The tropiest of tropes.
But no, I really like that. I think it's cute.
Yeah.
I think Ryo is cute.
I think Ryo is cute. What the best scenes were when they were trying on the yukata, right? Like,
yeah.
Chihiro's they're all giving them numbers, which is a repeated gag about other things too.
I love it. Yeah.
They also rate Chihiro's cakes. Rude that Tetsu gave it 5 and everybody else gave it like high numbers.
It's a big brother thing.
It's a big brother thing.
I'm sorry, it is.
You're like, I know how it is, yeah.
I do know how it is. I would also rate my brother's cakes low.
Yeah, but trying on the yukata, I was like, I feel this.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I also like that Chihiro's a little bit oblivious to it.
He's a little bit oblivious to lots of things. I really like Chihiro.
He's oblivious because he can see ghosts, right? And he's like, I think I just have to tune out everything because I don't know who's real and who's not, or whatever.
Right.
Maybe I missed some ships. You know, Kanado and Suzu.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
That's not.
Sorry, Kanado.
Shizu and Tetsu, obviously A++.
Yes, that is a really well done ship. I
was really scared though because, you know, Shizu is such a blank slate. I was like, this could go horribly wrong, and it didn't, and it was so good.
And I also really love that it started with a confession really early on, and I was like, whoa, wait a sec.
To Haru.
But then they both actually were forced into the time of forced to take the time to really understand one another and figure out why they care and how that care grows and changes. And it's just a really, really good ship, guys. God. I feel like if we hype this up too much, like, then people will be disappointed, but then I can't think of a way they could be disappointed in this.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's so good and cute and fluffy and
also like real.
It's so real, I know.
Oh my god.
You wish that everything in your life that was hard, that you know is hard and is related to these things, came out this well in the end.
Yeah, like, and even in this, it's not perfect.
Yeah, there's still some problems they're working through.
So much work to do, and there always will be.
Yay, work. Tetsu likes work.
That's true. He does like work, but that's not work he's gonna get paid for.
Oh. But what else? Tetsu, I think. Also, I really appreciate that Tetsu never, you know, he has the jokey stuff with Haru being like, I confess to you, and that's weird, ha 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 ha. But I appreciate the lack of attention to, like, whether Tetsu loves SHIZU for whoever SHIZU is becoming, or if he's like influenced by the ghosts that possess her and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, good.
Yeah.
He understands. He's such a good boy. So good.
He's a good boy. Such a good boy.
But obviously Haru and Tetsu is OCP.
He's old enough to be his father.
I don't care.
Okay, all right. You do you. I mean, I could ship Chihiro and Tetsu.
Oh, that's true.
Chihiro, I think especially from Chihiro's side of it. But I'm happy it wasn't like that. You know what else I'm happy about? And actually, Shipping Corner is the perfect place to say it. There were no love triangles in this manga.
It's true. 0 love triangles.
0 love triangles. So happy. So happy.
This is the anti-shoujo trope shoujo manga. And that's great.
It was so refreshing.
Refreshing. I should just ask Asher to read random manga that neither of us really know about more often.
No, we'll run into
then it's gonna go
way.
crash into the ground real fast.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll do it in the future anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, do we have any other final thoughts? Like, I think all our thoughts are like, this manga is much better than you would expect since nobody has hyped it up, and we want to be the hype. So
Yeah.
we are the hype machine.
I love that the final segment's like subtitle is "How much does your heart go doki doki?" This manga makes my heart go doki doki from start to finish.
Yeah.
Whole time. I love the characters. The grounding of them is A+, and that's what matters in a shoujo manga. Characters that appear to be background characters end up important, and you care so much about them, like Chihiro.
I know. No, I was really shocked when it was like, and Chihiro can see ghosts, and I was like, this is a plot. All the plot twists just keep coming at me. Like, what's up? I think that might have been more shocking than like Mirei's Tetsu's mom.
I was
no way.
super shocked about Mirei. Chihiro was not as much of a shock.
I was shocked.
in retrospect, it made a lot of things make a lot of sense.
Fair enough. Yeah, the pool incident that they explained.
Like, blatantly, he said, I could also see that ghost at the pool.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, I do have one final thought. We didn't bring this up, but like my favorite moment in the manga was when it was a flashback and some bullies locked Tetsu in, I think it was a PE storage closet. Mm-hmm. And Chihiro came to let him out, and he was like, "It's okay, nobody died here. There were no ghosts here." And I was like, this is what best friends are about. This right here.
This is the best friendship.
Oh, I love them.
And Tetsu's probably like, "Thank you. I'm very afraid of ghosts, so I'm glad that you told me that."
Right. He never asked, like, how did you know that?
Yeah,
no.
he just rolls with it. He's good.
Well, I think he just assumed, well, he was really freaked out, so like he probably just didn't even register.
Yeah. Everybody's good. Even the ones who aren't as good are still good.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all we have to say about that.
Read it.
Buy
it. Support Megumi Morino. Did I get it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Support her. I think actually I'm going to give away, since I had bought the first 3 volumes physically, but then I had to buy it all digitally, and now I'm moving, so I'm kind of like, well, I already own this in one way, so I'm probably going to give away the first 3 volumes, so y'all come and get my first 3 volumes.
Get those first 3 volumes. Do it.
I'm sure you'll have to like retweet or something to get them, but like I'm gonna pick a winner, so like that's gonna happen.
Do it. It'll be a nice Christmas present for yourself.
Yeah, free Christmas present for yourself, y'all. Woo. Anyway, thanks for listening to Shoujo and Tell. If you have any comments, questions, constructive criticism. I can't say constructive criticism. I should just really give up on that.
Constructive criticism.
It's so hard.
You put too many K sounds in that sentence.
I know, that's the problem. But it's always constructive criticism that gets me. Anyway,
You got it that time.
I did, see? Great. Or concerns, you can email shoujoandtell@gmail.com or leave a comment on shoujoandtell.com/ I think I'm gonna just make it the full title, which is Wake Up Sleeping Beauty. I'm a little afraid to shorten it. I don't know. I feel like Sleeping Beauty could get me in trouble down the line, you know?
Yeah,
yeah. You're just gonna have to type a lot. I don't know. Anyway, we're at Shoujo and Tell on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr. Yeah, I always forget to write Tumblr down. Anyway, Asher, where can people find you and your work on the internet?
I also have a Tumblr, Asher Dashery, and you can find my fanfiction on Archive of Our Own at Dashery. I guess, yeah, that's pretty much the places to find me.
Yeah, Asher and I once wrote a Digimon fanfic that you can read there.
Yeah,
together. That's a thing. We did that. Are you excited every time you see a new episode of Shoujo and Tell? If so, leave a rating in iTunes or Stitcher. This will help the podcast reach more hearts, or at least ears. Thanks again for listening. We'll be back next time to discuss the first 10 volumes of Kimi ni Todoke by Karuho Shina. So we're going to have 3 episodes covering all of Kimi ni Todoke because it is 30 volumes long. That's comparable to our Fruits Basket coverage, so I'm sorry that we're going to do 2 really long things close together, but I'm bad at scheduling. Kimi ni Todoke ends soon. It seemed relevant. Hashtag I want to be relevant, you know? What's up? I don't know. Anyway, everybody go read 30 volumes of Kimi ni Todoke. Until then, bye.
Bye.